Hey guys, how's it going? And I'm Ben from TalkSpeak English. Now in today's lesson we are going to learn 6 phrasal verbs with the verb draw. I just want to give a very quick shout out to Barry B for suggesting this video idea. I couldn't make these videos without you guys and without your ideas and your support. So with that being said, if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, let me know down in the comments section. Now, I'm sure you know all about phrasal verbs by now and how frustrating they can be. The fact is that phrasal verbs are everywhere, and being able to understand them and recognize them is important when it comes to improving your English. Phrasal verbs are made with a verb and either a preposition or an adverb. But when do you use them, and why are some common and others not? It's all about taking small steps. As I like to say, learning English is not so much a sprint, but a marathon. You make small steps every single day, and eventually you'll reach your English goals. In today's video, we're going to look at some common phrasal verbs with the verb draw. Are you ready? Let's jump straight in. So I'm sure many of you guys know the first meaning of the verb draw, as in to draw a picture. Well, did you know that draw is also used to mean move or pull, like in the first example, to draw back? We use draw back in 2 ways. One is transitive, which means that it requires an object, and the other is intransitive, which means it doesn't require an object. Now, the transitive version means to pull something apart to an open position. If you draw back the curtains, you are pulling them apart to see what's on the outside or to see what the weather is like. You can also separate the verb draw and the adverb back here and put the object in the middle. We could say, for example, I draw the curtains back every morning when I wake up. The intransitive version, the one without an object, means to move away from something or someone when you are surprised or scared. She drew back after the dog tried to bite her. The phrasal verb focuses on the movement, moving it away from the danger. I was walking home the other day and I saw a man acting suspiciously in front of me. I drew back when he stopped in the middle of the path. So in this example, we can see that it's saying I moved out of the way of the danger so that I felt safe. So we can use the phrasal verb draw back here to again have this idea of movement, the idea of pulling away from something or pulling it apart. So this is what I want you to think. Draw equals movement. With that being said, what do you think the next phrasal verb draw in could mean? To draw in or to be drawn in means to attract or to be attracted to something or someone. We have this motion that we are being pulled towards something, and it's almost opposite to the first example. Hey, how are you? I'm good, thanks. There was a street performer on the way home and he was awesome. He really drew in a big crowd there. I stopped to have a look. There were probably about 100 people watching this guy. So in this example, because the street entertainer was interesting, it's this idea that he drew in or attracted a lot of people. You can also be drawn towards something or someone, and it has a very similar meaning here again. This idea of attraction or being attracted towards something. The passive voice is used here because we're focusing on the person or object that experiences the action. The boy was drawn towards the chocolate in the shop. Moths are always drawn towards light. In both these examples, we are focused on who receives the action. Draw out means to withdraw. If I draw out money from the cash machine, I take it out. I withdraw it. The same thing goes if I draw something out of my pocket. For example, if I draw out my wallet, I take it out of my pocket. Draw out has another common meaning when something goes on for longer than expected. You might have heard the phrasal verb drag out being used the same here as well. If I say that the boss drew out or dragged out the weekly meeting, it means that it went on for longer than expected. Ugh, I know we can all relate to boring weekly meetings. Ugh. Moving on, draw up means to prepare an agreement or a contract. Now this one is separable, so you could say the company drew up a contract for existing members of staff, or simply the company drew a contract up. Used without an object, the intransitive version of draw up means to come to a stop. So if a train draws up at the station, it means it comes to a stop at the station. You can also use draw up beside something, which means to stop next to something. Finally, draw away means to pull something away. Draw away is often used when we want to distract someone or something and move the attention away from a certain topic. After the recent scandal in the government, the Prime Minister was eager to draw attention away from it by promoting his new policies. In other words, the Prime Minister doesn't want to focus on the scandal. He wants to move the attention away from it. So there we are. Great work, guys. I know that phrasal verbs can be a little overwhelming, but I hope you can now understand that with phrasal verbs, it's all about spotting those patterns and recognizing when to use them. So what did we learn today? Well, just remember that draw is often used when we want to express an idea of movement, either moving towards or away from something. Practice writing an example in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to help you. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time.